Welcome back. I got some more Reddit stuff for you. I wanted to find something. I used to do like questions, Reddit questions, so I decided to look one up. And this one is not so safe secret you're most proud of. You're most proud of. So I thought this ought to be interesting. Now I always mark my videos not for kids, so hopefully YouTube doesn't flag it. I mean, I'm watching this on YouTube, so they shouldn't flag it, but you never know. But let's see what kind of secrets these guys and girls are going to reveal to us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's listen to some secrets.
What is your NSFW secret that you're proud of? Sorry for my bad English, it's my second language. Not sure if this fits here, not proud of the moment, but I am proud of the result. Me and my wife had kids and decided that was enough children. We got married after the kids were born and went on a honeymoon. We got drunk and banged without protection. The next day, we panicked a bit and went to a drugstore and got a regret pill. My wife took it at the hotel room. Crisis
I like how he calls it a regret pill.
averted. After this, we thought nothing about it and continued with the honeymoon. Like half an hour later, she goes down on me. She never ever gives me head as she chokes easily, so this was a real treat for me. When I nut hard. And the shot landed at the back of her mouth, and she puked all over the floor and my dong. We laughed it off and joked about it for the rest of the vacation. A few weeks after we came home, she didn't get her period. We got anxious, and it turned out that, yeah, she was pregnant. The only time we banged without protection was at the hotel room. When she puked after the BJ, she must have puked out the pill as well. So, now we have 3 kids. The youngest is as amazing as the other 2, and I'm proud to have him. But he must never, ever find out how he was conceived.
Oh, man. Find out you're only here because your mom puked up the pill. Yeah, there's people who think their kids should know everything are idiots. Your kids don't need to know everything about your life. Unless it's something that will impact them down the road. Otherwise, they don't need to know every little thing. They don't need to know all your dirty little secrets. They don't need to know all that. They don't need to hear the story of how they were conceived. I've seen that in movies where the kids want to know how they were conceived. Like, why? Who came up with that stupid scenario in movies? I don't know anyone in real life that wants to know how they were conceived. I've never thought to ask my mom, hey, Mom, how was I conceived? It's like, don't do it. I don't see it as much anymore, but I used to see it back in the day. So I always thought it was weird. Maybe that's why they stopped doing it. People were like, that's just weird.
What a perfect storm of things that needed to happen. I guess by that I mean exactly 2 things. 1, the initial pump, as it were, and 2, the vomiting of the morning after pill. I can't imagine that's happened a whole lot. Well, unlucky in one way, OP, but...
Yeah, usually if a person's taking the pill, that means they're completely done and, for the night. They don't usually keep going.
Another, perhaps. Seems like the kid you have is incredible. Congratulations. Or, I'm sorry, I don't know which to say. Story 2. The first time I came home on leave from the army, I hadn't seen my wife in 7 months. We stayed at my parents' house. She had moved in with her mother in that time to save money. My parents went out the first night we were there to see a movie without us, in a kind of wink wink nod nod situation. I had been in an incredibly stressful environment for 7 months without seeing my wife.
I'm just going to... Oh, it all says physically fit, so he got in shape. He broke her back. He really broke her back. Maybe it's not that bad. Let's see.
Highly physically fit. I banged that girl so hard that I broke my cherry wood bed frame and the bed collapsed underneath us. I was pretty busy that week and forgot to fix it before I left for Germany. The first phone call to my dad, he said, "Oh, yeah, I fixed your bed frame for you. I don't know what you did to that poor girl, but I hope she's alright." Story 3. When I was in college...
Dad knows. I like that. It's like, hope you didn't kill her. Well, I mean, she's there. That's right. She's, I think, staying with him, but still. Oh, man. Can you imagine calling? I'm not even going to, if it was me and I call and I see the bed, like, not even going to ask.
I lived in a dorm that had a pool table. One night I was drunk with my then boyfriend and we stumbled in there at around 3 a.m. to bang. We ended up stripping down totally, not really caring about our nudity since the dorm was dead that night. While we were doing the deed, we ended up on the ground on the non-door facing side of the table, and almost immediately someone opens the door and turns the light on. X and I freeze, and I turn my head to look under the table and see their feet freeze as they see our clothes scattered everywhere. Not a noise was made, no one moved. Complete awkwardness for what felt like forever, aka like 7 seconds. The other guy just turned off the light and backed out. We never got caught. Story 4.
That's because the other guy like, oh, okay. No, I'll probably be like, look, don't move. I can't see you. I'm backing out and turn the lights off later. Because some people might move or pop up. Well, you see that more in movies. Sadly, that happens in real life. People panic. It's like, don't move. I can't see you. I'm backing out.
I once banged a girl who worked in post-delivery. While I was signing for the delivery, she said something in my house smelled nice. I had just made coffee and wanted to offer her a cup. So I said, I know, you want to come in? Which she did. She grabbed my crotch within 10 seconds and my brain went, screw it, let's do this, I guess. She didn't get any coffee, though. Ah yes, the secret to bang random people is to not know that you're offering to bang them. And then when they take you up on the offer you forgot you made or didn't know you made, you just say, okay, sure. Story 5.
Yeah, story 4 felt fake. I don't know why. I'm sure it's happened at least once, but I don't know. This just seems weird. Usually those stories, I would say majority of the time are fake. I'm going to say that one's fake.
I joined the kink community in my city recently. It's literally the best thing that's happened in my life for a decade. I've made a ton of super nice, interesting friends. I'm super happy all the time. I'm losing weight because I'm practicing knots and I'm too distracted to eat. I learned all the rules, values, etiquettes. The kink community is surprisingly wholesome and responsible. Started going to meetings and was accepted very quickly. A few of my older play partners have nicknamed me the Prodigy for my advanced level of kinkiness and pain tolerance despite this only being my 2nd month. I was basically made for it. I'm already coordinating kink art projects as well as all sorts of fun play dates. I get spanked or tied up at least twice a week. The parties are off the hook and completely alcohol and drug free. I love being able to have an amazing time without getting wasted. They do fundraisers for various charities all the time, so I'm doing good. I've also gotten business leads from networking through the community. 2 days ago I had an MMF threesome. 2 men all to myself. And then the next day back to work as usual. I'm making photocopies of some dumb contract while having crazy flashbacks of doing something I never would have predicted happening. I feel like a goddess. I'm so proud of this and am at a seriously high level of life satisfaction. I live with my parents and just started my first professional serious person job. All of this is a complete secret, obviously. I have to dial down my response to how are you doing, because people would want to know more if I said un-frickin' believable. My parents think I'm depressed and broody because I constantly have my door locked or I'm going out when they're getting in. Really, I'm having the time of my life. As a side note, everything I'm doing is safe, safe, safe. Again, the organized community is extremely responsible and respectful. Look, I gotta be...
A lot of times when I hear about... The problem with kink communities is that I think what most people know about them is from TV. And TV always portrays them as something sinister, sadistic, just off the wall. And a lot of times it's not like that. It really isn't. It's more like what she described. I've never been one that's been part of it, but I've known people who have been, and that's basically how they describe it. It's like they're just open about it. They're just open and honest. They're free to be themselves. They don't have to hide who they are. And that's a great thing to be part of, not even if it's just, even not just a kink community, but any community where you can actually be open and honest and be who you are. It's a great feeling. I haven't been part of that in a long time. But even though I'm not part of anything like that, most of the time I am open and honest. I say most of the time, except for when I'm doing this, I'm not going to be open and honest on the internet. I know a lot of people are, and then they regret it. So, but yeah, it's a refreshing feeling, to be honest with you. But yeah, TV will paint that kind of stuff as just sadistic, immoral, and all that stuff. And a lot of times, like I said, it's not.
Here, I'm just jealous of the happiness, mostly. I think I could do without the rest, but that level of life satisfaction and self-fulfillment, girl has slam dunked Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it seems. She probably reached enlightenment through this from the sounds of it. So yeah, I'm jealous. Not really into the whole kink thing, though. So I guess I'll have to find another avenue. Or maybe that's the only way. Buddhists have been going about it all wrong. Story 6. I was offered butt stuff by a sales rep who looked like thin Jessica Simpson and turned her down. because I had recently started dating the woman who would become my wife, kissed me in front of the whole bar, bit my frickin' lip, and when I pulled her out of there to talk her down, she grabbed my junk and told me where she would like to put it. Stayed true to my girl, married her, and we're celebrating our 6th anniversary this year. Story 7.
Well, that's not that bad. I probably would have told my wife about this. Yeah, this crazy bitch bit my lip and did all this stuff. So I talked her out. Technically, he could have called the cops on her, to be honest with you. But yeah, I don't know if I don't know. I don't think I would have kept that a secret, actually. That's just me. And I know my wife well enough to know. She'd be like, what? I said, don't worry, I'm never seeing that woman again. Yeah, she knows me well enough that if I tell her that secret or tell her that what happened, she got nothing to worry about. That's also one thing about my wife. She knows she ain't got nothing to worry about. But yeah, it's just, I don't know.
The best banging to date when a friend of mine said he would give me a ride home after a long day of work. The car ride was long but immensely fun because of our playful banter. We swapped intimate stories, and I could count on having a great conversation with him because of our common interests. He came inside my small apartment and one thing led to another, and basically we went a few rounds. Tried many positions that had me bending in awkward angles but felt really good. And we eventually moved my mattress so much that it flipped on us. Oh, and during his more rougher goes, we broke my curtain rod. He also enjoyed my impromptu twerking during doggy, which I had never done before but felt so good. So I plan to do that again. Also, I learned that I could squirt that day. All in all, it was an amazing night. Well, that was certainly a story to read in first person, but good for you, OP. Sounds like you had a lot of fun.
I don't know. Hold on. I don't know about that. What was the title? Not safe for work. Secret. Yeah, secret. That's not a secret. I think people don't understand what a secret is, unless it's probably more they didn't understand. That's not even not safe for work. I mean, definitely you don't want to talk about that at work, but. Yeah, that one's weak. I'm just gonna put that one's weak like the other one. Like, that's just weak. You just realize that you're the guy friend. You actually wanted the guy friend. He wasn't your guy friend. He was the guy you wanted, and then an opportunity arose, and you went for it.
Story 8. After being in a miserable monogamous relationship for the entirety of my adult life, I am finally with someone who is more intimately compatible with me. 2 weeks ago, one of her close friends who she had hooked up with in the past came over and we had a great night out dancing. When we got home, my girlfriend crashed, but I wanted to bang. So I asked my girlfriend if it would be okay if I banged with her friend. She said, go for it, so I did. Her and I had an amazing banging session. The following day, the two of them were discussing it and they both agree I'm great in bed. This is a very big confidence booster for me, because the woman I was previously with for 12 years was very repressed, and we would only ever bang every 3 to 6 months. And she was the only person I had ever banged with. It's hard to explain in text, but I feel more intimately liberated and, as a result, happier than I've ever been in my life. I've been wanting to tell someone, but no one in real life wants to hear about all the awesome banging you're doing. And no one on the internet ever believes you when you talk about it. And it's not that I want to brag or anything, I'm just so happy and I wish I could express that happiness to people. Story 9.
That's not a bad one. Yeah, I don't think I'll be honest with you. Most of these don't seem like secrets that need to be kept. Well, I understand why they're keeping these secrets. Like the girl who lives with her parents. If I discovered my daughter was part of a kink community, I'd be like, oh, don't tell me shit. I don't want to know anything about your day out hanging out with your friends. I don't want to know nothing. Just let me know you're being safe and careful. That's it. That's all I need to know. Now, if you need to drop me your location in case something goes down, I can come rescue you. Okay, fine. But yeah, I don't need to know anything that's going on at all. But otherwise, I don't really think a lot of these need to be secrets. I think people are just so used to keeping secrets anymore, especially nowadays, because everyone's got a camera. But yeah, so far they're interesting stories, but yeah, secret-wise, keeping a secret, no. Like even this one, this is not so much a secret. He just wanted to share how happy he was. So that's not so much a secret as he realizes nobody's going to want to listen to him. But it's not a secret.
I once went to dinner with a girl I was dating at the time and her mom. The restaurant was packed. We ended up taking one of the last available tables. I fingered the girl under the table. Pretty sure the mom knew, as the girl dropped her silverware twice and kicked the table once. She was trying her best not to make a sound, but let out a slight peep a couple of times. The first time, the mom looked at her confused, and then kind of looked at me. I shrugged unassumingly. The second time, the mom cut her eyes sharp at her, then looked at me and kind of grinned. And I sort of let a bit of a grin slip back at her. She never said anything about it, but I'm pretty sure she knew what was going on. OP, I refuse. What? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not buying that one. I know there's a lot of kinky parents out there, but that one's a bit much. First off, why would you do that? That was not so much. Yeah, you shouldn't have shared that at all. If that's 100% real, you shouldn't have shared that with anyone. That's just like, what the hell were you thinking? The fact that mom was okay with it, I got a feeling that girl had one of those childhoods where the mom just didn't care. She just let her do whatever. Like, yeah, she came home.
Stammer a lot in these commentaries, but it's just a natural reaction for me for being aghast at things. There's no way a mother would be like, yeah, I know what you're doing to my daughter, and like it, or be happy about. I don't know. This is all very weird to me. Maybe some families are like that. I can't even fathom it. And honestly, I don't know if I want to. Story 10. Got together with a girl who was also in second year at university with me. It was pretty carnal. We were really attracted to one another and hooked up often and aggressively. It was hot. Anyway, one of the first few times we got together, she invited me over. I went into her room and she had a red, sheer satin sheet thrown over her lampshade, casting a red hue to the room. She had high thread count Egyptian cotton sheets and tons of pillows on her bed. She also had, beside the bed, a bowl of mixed fruit. We banged, and afterwards I lay back in the afterglow of banging onto a mountain of pillows, with her draped, naked across me, laying on my chest amidst expensive cotton sheets. And she began to frickin' feed me fruit from the fruit bowl, like actually holding cherries up for me to bite off the stem. I felt like a sultan. It was amazing. I think this girl just had a thing for being like a concubine to a Roman emperor or something. This sounds very specific, very planned, and sounds like she was into it. OP also sounds like he was into it too. Like, come on, who wouldn't be? You're living the life, OP. Keep on
Yeah, that's probably a kink she had. It's something sexual fantasy she wanted to live out. That's what that sounds like.
killing it. Story 11. My wife and I put a penny in a bank every time we banged. I know the exact number of times I've banged in my life because I've only ever banged with my wife. I have a wheat penny tattoo on my right leg that I got on our anniversary. I think 6th year. We also know how many times it took to conceive our 2 kids because we used nickels for one and dimes for the other. We count pennies every anniversary and write down totals and average for the year. Some people know this story, including friends at work, but it's not something I would say is 100% safe for work. Story 12.
That was just weird. I'm sorry, that was straight up weird. Sad part is, I can actually believe that one. That one seems, as crazy as it sounds, that one sounds more believable. If you ever meet someone with a wheat penny tattoo, you'd be like, oh, I know how your kids were conceived. Or you'd be like, tell me how many pennies it took to conceive your kid. Oh, man.
With identical twins, sadly not together. Started talking to twin one on an anonymous social media app. We got to intimately texting. She was sending me a lot of explicit pics and vids, but after a few weeks it sort of fizzled out before meeting. Fast forward a month or so and I bumped into what I thought was the same girl from the app, and I almost ruined it by saying what I thought was her name. Turned out it was Twin 2. We got to talking and the same thing happened. She was completely unaware I'd been talking to her sister. Twin 2 and I met soon after and banged a few times. Funny, at one point she was talking about Twin 1 and how they're so different, because Twin 1 would never be this dirty with guys. God, it was so hard biting my tongue from saying, actually. She sent me pics of her butthole. Anyway, Twin 2 and I, after a few weeks, sort of cooled off. She met someone and they started a proper relationship. Twin 1 pops up again on social media. We begin talking again, and this time we met and also banged a few times. Not the most exciting experiences in the world, but it was at least pretty unique. Okay, I gotta say, I don't get this one. People are like, I want to bang twins at the same time. Okay.
Yeah, I never understood that either. Well, I want to do sisters. That's like, why? I don't get it. I mean, it's one thing if you 2 girls at one time. Yeah, okay. But why do they got to be related? And that used to be a big thing in 80s and 90s TV shows. They'd be like, twins, yeah. I was like, who cares? Who cares if they're twins?
And a screwed up family dynamic would have to exist for that. Like, I'm an only child, so I guess I don't really know, but from what I've heard from people with siblings, that would be insanely off limits forever. And that's like everyone I know with siblings too.
Yep.
Maybe you just have to find that like one pair of identical twins that'll do it. But even then, I would be like, really? This is kind of weird. Are you sure? Story 13. I'm a male nursing student. When I had a 2-month internship at a hospital, I worked together with some nurses who were both male and...
Before we can go any further, I have heard stories about nurses, doctors, people in the medical field. Yeah, they are some horny people. Just straight up horny people. And that reminds me of one of those balloon popping YouTube shows. Girl came out, said she was a nurse. Every guy popped a balloon. It was just like rapid fire. And she's like, okay, and walks off, and they were like, nurse, nope, she cheat. Because I'm talking about the number one cheaters. It's like, yeah, I've heard that. Nurses and cops. And firefighters, actually. Those three I hear cheat all the time. So it's like, no, thank you.
female. Majority was female, of course. I was also working together with 2 other students in the department. The 3 of us each had one mentor nurse. They gave us grades. One day I had a late shift with another student and we didn't actually talk much since we worked together. Well, one nurse said we had to check on a patient who rang their little bell. We did what we had to do and made some eye contact while doing it. And that made it happen, I guess. We left the room and she went the other way from the nursing post and I asked where she was going. Come with me and find out, she said. I followed, already thinking awesome stuff would happen, and what do you know? We went to a storeroom, locked the door, and had amazing banging. From that day, we banged like 4 times until our internship was done. After that, we had a friends with benefits thing going on for a good 4 months, until she got a boyfriend. Story 14. I proposed to my current fiancé in Paris nearly 2 years ago. I had a secret photographer following us around to capture the walk to the location I would drop to a knee, and we had an hour-long engagement photography session after the yes. In order to get a genuine picture of us laughing, the photographer asked me to whisper something funny or cute into her ear. I proceeded to explain my future plans to buy a house and have a dedicated banging dungeon under lock and key, so that we would have our own private room just for us to have wild times in. Neither of us could keep a straight face, and that is a crowd favorite picture in our photo book. We laugh every time someone says that picture is the best. Oh, it's criminal that I don't get to see this photo now. Like, I get it, privacy reasons, but oh, I want to see it so bad. Knowing the story behind it would enhance it so much. Story 15.
All right, I want to end it here. That last one's actually a good one. That's actually a good secret. That's a secret just the two you have. And every time someone sees that picture, you guys just start laughing. They're like, what the hell are you laughing at? Don't worry about it. You know? Well, yeah, those are all good stories. Like I said, I don't think all of those were really secrets that need to be kept. But hey, to each our own, we each believe a secret needs to be kept. Sometimes a secret doesn't need to be kept. But it's up to the individual if they feel that secret needs to be kept. If you feel it needs to be kept, keep it. All right, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and everyone take care. Later.